You know what the future looks like? It will become a cultural expectation for Western men to travel overseas to meet women. It'll just become something that is understood, and eventually, at least to a degree, even promoted. Western women do actually like the power that has been afforded to them, and will choose to keep it and wield it to their own ends. Their interactions with men will become more contractual and transactional. Some of them may even break away and form a parallel society similar to that depicted in the movie AI. While there are some women putting in the work, they are usually very few apart from what I've seen. The ladies openly say they don't like to code or any other technical stuff, which begs the question, what are they doing there? I've put in so many extra hours late nights doing other people's work, it's not even funny. Doing so led me to arguments with the women in my life that were actually important to me, as they felt I was purposely neglecting them over work. I wonder if these women in tech were also lured into professions they didn't gravitate to, just because of the feminist LGBT ideal that we need diversity absolutely everywhere. To be fair to the ladies, there are a lot of men who push their work around. However, they are not blindly shielded by HR. Any form of criticism directed towards these men is not automatically interpreted as a sign of bullying. It seems like women's behavior towards men has just gone down the drain, and men have realized this. They have chosen their reputation, integrity, and respect over the disrespect and humiliation extended by women towards them. Seriously. I'd be much better off not making the first move, because I swear. I've heard stories of women calling the cops over guys approaching them. Obviously, there was nothing wrong with the guys. It was just that they did not fit their profile in the looks and money departments. And trust me, it's not that they're scared of women. For them, approaching women is now a thing of the past, because the default reaction of today's woman when they're approached by guys is to ignore them or make fun of them. Why would any self-respecting man do that to himself when he knows it just isn't work making the move? From making the first moves, or moving to approach women, men have now moved on with their lives, and for good reason. So, why would I or anyone put myself through something like this? It doesn't make sense. Also, I think a very high percentage of women are just not even worth approaching anymore. Not worth the impending rejection and refusals. Men are so done with women that their basic and default thinking regarding women is to avoid them. Avoid the gyms, the bars, and any other work-related social gatherings. Men are using extreme caution regarding approaching women and making a move even after the first few dates. Today, there's a big disconnect between what men are looking for and what women are offering. Men are looking for very basic traits, like kindness, being virtuous, and loyalty. However, for modern women, these sound like insane requirements when it comes to dating and relationships. Most men simply want a good relationship and to work as a team. The problem now is most men want the bare minimum but are required to give more. Most men want companionship and physical intimacy, and added to that, somebody who cares about us and wants to make our lives less stressful through cooking and cleaning for us after a hard day at work. Women say they work too and shouldn't have to give those things, but they still want a man to buy them gifts, take them out, protect them, and compliment them. So, for the price of companionship and intimacy, we offer companionship, a physical relationship, and a list of other things just to get cheated on and seem like the problem. If you look at how advanced the world has become and the unlimited opportunities the advent of the internet has presented to humanity, now is the best time for women to step into intellectual and engineering roles. Yet, they still choose to sell their bodies. Makes you wonder if it's just a function of evolution or just how women generally have always been. Simply put, we do not need or want a woman we feel is trying to compete with us. Is peace really that hard to get when you're committed to a modern woman? I guess it is. If modern women want to continue with this mindset, they have that option. However, the smart women who go against the narrative will survive. The stubborn and mindless ones will not. If your whole life yourself has been the most important and only thing important in the world, no wonder you can't hold a relationship. To live in society means we all have to put an effort into contributing to that society. If you are selfish, you will end up by yourself. Maybe this is what society needs to weed out the bad apples. Only the strong will survive. Men and women need to do better, get themselves right with God, and be spiritually at peace. They criticize men for going their way because it prohibits them from having control over the resources. Again, women are hesitant to speak it out loud, since doing so would reveal their inability and demonstrate that they depend on men far more than they realize. Women, like other women, would vanish overnight if women weren't permitted to work in the workforce as they were in the 20th century, because they would all be looking for husbands to support them. Instead of their intimacy, they would be more concerned with how much money they were spending on their lifestyle. They wouldn't be thinking about being physical at all. Only in the middle to late 20th century did women have access to a lifestyle where women could be romantically involved with other women in public. I believe that as more and more men go their separate ways, accumulating their own riches and living their own lives, women will become more and more destitute or reliant on credit and the government to survive. Because it's a societal norm, women frequently say one thing while really meaning another. They can't seem to approach anything in life directly, thus it's likely part of their biology as well. They aren't as literal as men are, but they are always attempting to enter our thoughts through our back doors. Because we have a variety of goals to pursue in the actual world, men cannot afford to be overly literal. Women, on the other hand, can't afford to be upfront, because if something goes wrong, we know what they're up to, where they stand on any particular topic, or their genuine motives are obvious. They don't want us to truly place the responsibility on them, because women are physically and emotionally weaker. Women who were more successful at influencing males throughout history pass on their genes to subsequent generations. The entire equality discussion gives off the impression that women will only receive partial equality. As you can see, women desire equality, but they also want to work for it. An illustration. Women still won't be queuing up to work in the construction sector. They will discuss equality in order to limit their ability to serve as CEOs and board members of businesses in the construction sector. They will only discuss their military service as leaders of businesses in the defense sector. Even though they simply want to run government entities, they will talk about equality in the government. It seems equality for women is about taking control and taking over positions held by men who have dedicated their lives and climbed the ladder by sacrificing their everything just in an ultra-competitive world. Modern feminine women are also promoting a dangerous narrative, which is that they believe they can function in societies without any men in those societies. This is a dangerous narrative because it will misinform young women about how they can do that without ever having to work for it. Will these women work in the sewers? Will they work in the mining industry? Will they literally work in deplorable conditions that men work in just so they can feed their wives and children? Or is it just the CEO that modern women want to emulate and look at? Why the hypocrisy? Why selective equality? Truth be told, this isn't equality. It's gender politics for domination, while using whole generations of innocent women as pawns. While giving women a larger share of the advantages, men are expected to do more work. The fact that certain men have realized this and are backing down makes it difficult for the women who are fighting for equality. Men will be able to spot when they are being taken advantage of if they are informed that they are needed because they are expected to work harder than they should and provide women with at least half of the riches. Contrary to what some women may claim, more men would pick their own route and go their own way if they were truly equal to women, which is something neither women nor men find appealing. Why do I say this? If men and women were actually equal, then men really would have to be competing and living with women who would have the characteristics of men. And that's not something that men like in women. Women chasing their careers and giving everything they have to climb the corporate ladder, as well as the regular boss babe Karen you'd find out on a street, are all advocating to revoke the unspoken authority of men. As a result, they're just pushing men away to other countries, and that they go on social media to talk all about it. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support.